Star Wars Episode 9 is set to combine all 9 movies into one big Star Wars movie by writer and director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the biggest concerns for Episode 9 is, of course, on whether or not it will mimic that of Return of the Jedi too much when it comes to the overall ending of this movie. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. And when it comes all down to one of the final scenes for the third act of the movie by JJ and crew, this is where things begin to get a little bit interesting. Now, one of the final scenes for the film is described as to have a lot of losses and sacrifices. This may include some of the new characters, legacy, or sequel characters. It's said to combine elements of both Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith's endings. It's described as being the most tragic and unique ending in a Star Wars film that fans will never predict. Both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver are set to film an emotional sequence for one of the ending scenes this January on set over in Cardington. It's also said that the ending of the film will somewhat parallel Return of the Jedi, where a space battle is going to be mixed with a major fight between heroes and villains below. Billy Dee is set to shoot a sequence in the Millennium Falcon for one of the final scenes in the third act this December, with Eunice Watamo. It's said to be both Lando and Chewbacca working together and taking out First Order ships, as a callback to Lando and Nien Nunb in Return of the Jedi. Elements of Jedi will be used, however, in no way will it be a direct copy of the ending scene. So I really wanted to go over a couple of pointers here. Now, that is, of course, one of the biggest fears by a lot of fans around the world when it comes to Episode 9, is, of course, whether or not it will directly copy Return of the Jedi. Now, I can't see J.J. Abrams doing that because he already did this a lot with The Force Awakens when it came to beat for beats of Star Wars A New Hope. I mean, in Star Wars The Force Awakens, we actually even had a trench scene, we had a trench run scene. So you can see all the direct, parallels there, that I believe went too far in that film. But looking at Star Wars Episode 9, JJ has even said before in the past, I believe it was a year ago or so, that he has no plans on making this movie a copy of a past Star Wars film in any other way. Now, of course, there's always going to be parallels in a Star Wars movie. That's George Lucas and his outlook on the franchise. It's like poetry, it rhymes. And honestly, I love it. I love that aspect of Star Wars. But just don't take it too far to the point where it seems like it's a copy or a beat-for-beat moment of a past film. Now, the thing that honestly does strike me a lot here, it really does pique my interest a lot, is this emotional scene that is to be shot between both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver for one of the final scenes in the third act of this film. So, could this very well be a similarity between both Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, where Darth Vader takes his helmet off and he dies? Could we get something similar in a sense, where it's a reverse, where maybe this time Kylo Ren does indeed get his redemption arc, and he turns to the light and lives, but meanwhile Rey actually perishes and passes away? They could do a complete reverse, something around those lines. I can't think of anything else more tragic than a hero dying, but at the same exact time, there's a lot of hope in the galaxy because Kylo Ren of all people would turn to the light side of the Force. I could honestly see something like that. But if he's going to turn to the light, it really does have to have a lot of meaning and purpose. They really got to do it right because he is the man who killed his own father, Han Solo, after all. Now, the other pointer that I do want to go over is, of course, the whole entire aspect of Lando Calrissian, right? Billy Dee Williams shooting a scene with Eunice Watamo, who, by the way, portrays the character of Chewbacca. Now, they will be working together for one of the final scenes in the third act of Episode 9 inside of the Millennium Falcon. And what's really interesting about all of this when it comes to Star Wars Episode 9 between both Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca is that Billy Dee Williams and Eunice Watamo will be filming inside of this cockpit set piece in front of a large green screen that will be replaced with a lot of space sequences and first order ships. So this tells us that this is going to be somewhat of a Battle of Endor scenario, where we do have a space scene where everything is happening below on some planet as well. Now, does this sound like a direct copy of Return of the Jedi? In isolation, sure it does. You know, if you kind of like just look at it at what it is, I can see what you guys would be saying there. But if you kind of think about it like this, they're going to be adding in a lot of new things, a lot of different aspects of Star Wars in order to make it new. So, you know, from what we know, you know, the very ending of Episode 9, including a major space battle, while also a major battle taking place on a planet, you know, that's a direct parallel to that of Return of the Jedi. But it's all about how it's going to be executed on the big screen and how it will all be done that will actually differentiate it from Return of the Jedi. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.